June 11th, 2022. And it takes one to know one kind of a way. I'm watching this time traveler towards the end of the episode. It reminds me of a really weird day with the nothing to look up to. I just asked him tonight, I'm like, remember that day you took me to Manhattan? Like, I mean, it was like really weird. I mean, again, not a big drinker ever, never on purpose. And it's like, he plans something at St. Mark's Place or Alphabet City. I have no idea what that's about. But he took me to like some hole in the wall. And there was something about a mojito, never heard of that. I was asking the person what it meant, where it's from, like all the questions someone who just is curious would ask. And then whatever and whatever. And I am watching this time traveler now, and it has a little feel of something called Painters, which is out in Bellport. Green Machine played out there once. That was like non-event, non-script. Again, you walk into a big place, I'm like, always looking for someone to look up to. And yet I got nobody to look up to dragging me around under 6 foot. Somebody sent me a 7'1" person yesterday on the street. I mean, he was just stand out. And I was just like, can I ask? Is it rude? I was like, how tall are you? So whatever. He said 7'1". I was like, wow. And I kept on walking. It's human things. I don't think you look Nephilim at all, but whatever. So I don't know what the St. Mark's Place thing is, but I'm watching this time traveler piece, and they have on here about the shape of my heart. That's not the shape of my heart. And the musician happens to be Sting. I think at like uber important people somewhere between Empire Fights or of Savoir, which I just found out is House of something else that used to exist, and I didn't know that either. And with like In My Life frame, I used to hear the adults always talk about beautiful Italian leather shoes and like Italian leather couches and like really fine Italian things and crafts. And then it just went radio silence on the humans stopped speaking of those things. And it's like the market of them just disappeared. I don't know why. And in time traveling things on here, they show that when you time travel, apparently they throw up all over the place. That's happened. And then there's a fight that happens between the two actors on this, The Time Traveler's Wife. And now while the Nothing to Look Up to problem that took me to several problem areas in whatever, and there being a sting at one point, which I really got hurt. One that I can remember anyway, in a kind of sort of but not really way. Him, I could see foul language being used because he lives in that movie of foul language, and he uses foul language, and it is nothing that I aspire to, but it is just what's, like, I don't know. It's just horrible. And then there's the other aspect of it in Over 6 Foot, Nigh Takes One to Know One, the one that, whatever, there was no cursing, because he didn't curse, I didn't curse. There's no reason to curse. Sending me into a crazy donkey through some Janus was a problem in hindsight, but I didn't know why that happened either. It's really a disgusting whatever. I mean, now I have a Jean-Fier with a strawberry whatever on his foot. So many movie references. It is just like, what are they doing? Like, why are they just pleasing one another and just leaving me here throwing up and, like, getting beaten and battered? Chairs broke over my head. I mean, it attempted murder. I mean, it's just, it has not been easy here. And yet it just seems to be progressively getting worse as the decades move on. Especially missing out on everything that, like, I started out being. Where's the safety switch? If this is a machine. So, here's the part of the movie that they put on. Which this almost feels to me like a takes one to know one, been there before kind of a thing. In somebody's else's story, parts of the conversation match, parts of it don't. Younger me, older me, that kind of thing. But the cursing definitely is a problem at whatever. And then there was St. Mark's Place. I am trying to remember that conversation, but it eludes me at the moment, and I don't know why. A shorter version of someone else. I said, I don't think so. I said, and the man that sits next to me, or the whatever that's sitting next to me that brought me here, well, the opportunity to speak before whoever I needed to speak, who's behind the whatever, I appreciated that ability. but only if it was the driving force that got me home, to where I need to be and not where I'm stuck. I'm pretty sure I said that. Conversation totally flipped. I mean, it's like, I even said, like, I don't want to be stuck here. I don't want to be stuck with this. I don't want this to be the rest of my life. I'm not doing this to the day I die. I was like, I don't even want to be doing it now. I was like, but I have no other. I don't know how to get out of this. And that was just, it wasn't even a tick. I mean, to some it might be considered a tick, but it was not a tick in Tenants in Common, because we had nothing in common other than the fact that he somehow was able to get contacts and run-ins on some schedule I don't even hold, and I don't even wear a circular utility with a 12 on it. That's numerically correct twice a day, but the whatever changes. Stuck in some jail cell grid that they call a calendar. It's like movie set and characters are all wrong, it feels. But this is what it looks like through somebody else's lens, I suppose. If they had to hypothesize, or if they were trying to tell their own story and schnook it in with some allowance that someone gave them. I have no idea how the humans use this voice of the theater with a very wide audience and how they thread that needle.
No.
No, I didn't mean any of those things I said.
Yeah, you did.
So I ran all the way here to tell you that, but then, stupid, I just stood outside and watched you at the window for about 10 minutes.
10 minutes. I only just sat down.
Right. Oh, those French verbs coming.
I've missed you.
Well, you just slept with me.
No. No, I didn't.
Come on. You just got yourself a new young man. What kind of a guy do you think I am?
As it turns out, an asshole. Was that the big secret you were keeping from me all these years? Your secret asshole?
It's kind of every man's secret.
Is that me?
Oh. Yeah.
I just feel watching this like it's somebody else's script. It's not how the conversation went. Not something I would have brought up. Especially being the fact that I knew what I know, and then I know I don't know a whole lot.
First time you threw a shoe.
I'm still not sorry. I grew up waiting for you. Longing for you.
I know.
No, you don't. I formed myself around you. The idea of you. And you're an asshole.
Well, here's the thing.
Is this what happens when you ask someone to do you a favor? Because, I know that at some point you can't put, people put their neck out on the lines. People that owe other people favors for, whatever and whatever. I mean, there is a two-way street here. I know what they're asking as far as somewhere, someone is going to want to be the first in something. I still remember that part. I being the one who couldn't formulate or calculate or build a machine in order to do such things. Have a hefty whatever. but there are some firsts that still need the stars to shine at whatever stars shine for.
The man you formed yourself around, Shock 2 hasn't formed himself around you.
That's fucked up.
Yep, so fucked up it has a name. Marriage. Two people trying to be there.
And I look at this man in this moment with the longer hair again, whatever, and whatever. But I look at him and is not like is not a visitor or a time traveler that I've ever spoken to anyway. Those details are hidden to like the real professionals, for the real professionals, to the real professionals. I'm not quite sure. I just know that that's not the shape of my heart. It's probably the correct background music playing in this particular scene for this particular moment.
Person the other one already thinks they are. Love, basically.
You didn't hear what he just said.
Claire, I said what he just said. And you want to know why I said it? Because time travel is awful. It is shit scary. He was waiting for the next storm to hit, wondering if this time it's going to kill you. That boy out there, time travel has never done one nice thing for him. Until today. Today he gets the winning lottery ticket.
So why is he being such...
You know what's even worse than being terrified all the time?
And if that has anything to do with the nothing to look up to that was seated next to me that brought me into St. Mark's in Manhattan on whatever fateful day that was, where I, again, don't have any idea how I made it back to the car and then wherever. I do remember throwing up a whole lot. And I just remember it being really hard to lift my head and open my eyes. But there was a behind the bar conversation with something that seemed intelligent. And then there was whatever was seated next to me.
Future is the scariest thing in the world because suddenly you are all in. No choice. Anyone can stand any kind of torture except hope.
Why didn't he just say all that?
He did. It just took me a while.
It's a shit jacket.
Well, muggers can't be choosers.
And now you're off home.
Muggers or mothers? In this whole mad category, like mothers against drunk driving. I'm just curious. Because it seems like driving drunks into a dry household is a problem. My parents were dry. I ran a dry house. But yet, there were some land obstacles where the male position brought real harm into my very real situation, and rulemaking being the way that it is or has gone is a real problem.
In a minute, yeah.
Older me?
To my wife.
Bitch.
Sorry.
Older me gets you. And I get younger you who's a dick. It's not fair.
No, he's not a dick. And you know that.
He's not you. Seriously, how does he get to be you? What happens to him? Does he get hit by a fucking meteorite?
Yeah. Going by the name of Claire.
That a compliment?
Just called you a meteorite. Take it any way you like. Hey, look on the bright side. He's way hotter than me.
No, he's not.
Sure he is.
And the other thing is he sits down and he asks if she's still studying her French proverbs. Now, for me, that's just confusing with pro and then the verbs. Since I don't really speak sophisticated anything because I've been left in this whatever mutter situation. Verbs is just easier to prove a point, but without knowing really whatever and whatever that the time travelers use for whatever else. In the great beyond. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken, and it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.